Hello and welcome to week 16 of NFL Gamepicks. We got 2 more weeks of regular season ball after this. So it's going to be a shaky one down the road for a lot of these teams. I'm your host, Austin Ramos. We got Chris Wright. We got Joey Gross. And man, oh man, I'll start off. The light's not on. You already know the vibes. Dolphins are done. They suffered their 8th loss, officially eliminating them from playoff contention. It was going to be a long road to get there, but they, faltered in the cold once again. Tua did not look good. Some people are saying, some fans are saying, that might be the last time we see Tua suit up for the Miami Dolphins. Mike McDaniel spoke about it, and he said, hey, he didn't play well, and, that's not what we're hoping to see from the quarterback play. So, everything's on the table in terms of possibly starting another quarterback, maybe Zach Wilson or Quinn Ewers. Personally, I would like to see Ewers just to kind of see what we have in the young guy. You kind of already know what you have in Zach Wilson. Outside of that, you're going to have Ewers for a couple of years. So who knows? It's going to be tough possibly moving off of Tua. I'm not saying that the Dolphins are, but the possibility of it's not going to be easy. Outside of that, fun run while it lasted, 4-game win streak. And, every week Dolphins have a chance. Things got to go their way. And unfortunately, they didn't. But it is what it is. Who wants to go next?
I'll go.
Yeah?
Sucks. This is really bad. Oh, man. It's just, Micah Parsons has been this entire team, this entire year, our heartbeat, our leader. Obviously the presence that he brings to the defense and his amount of pressures. He has 66 pressures on the quarterback this year. All of our other pass rushers combined for 67 QB rushes. So, yeah, you can't really replicate the player that Micah Parsons is. So as much as we could say, next man up mentality, or it's time for Rashawn Gary to take that step, I don't think that you can really replicate with the kind of player that Micah Parsons is. So it definitely sucks losing him to a torn ACL. We've lost probably 2 of our best players outside of Jordan Love, Tucker Kraft, and Micah Parsons to torn ACLs this year. So it's just really tough in terms of Super Bowl aspirations. I don't know if those are still kind of relevant with, our 2 best players on the shelf. We still obviously have a chance with Love, and hearing Watson avoided a serious injury, but our right tackle got hurt, and, hopefully we stay healthy down the stretch, but it just kind of sucks. It feels like all hope is kind of lost in Green Bay right now, and hopefully that they bounce back this week and kind of get the fans back into it, but it's a little tough to be positive about the situation right now.
Yeah, that does suck, dude. Yeah. I've seen my favorite player go down that way before, and it sucks. Mm-hmm. I don't think anybody's really happy to see it. If you're a Bears fan and you're happy, you're lame for that, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree.
We hate it when the Packers do it to us and make fun of us, but, you're lame for that. Anyways, Bears had a great week. I loved watching that game. It was probably the most complete game we've had this year in terms of just dominating in all forms for all 4 quarters. It was a lot of fun. Caleb balled out. I've never seen so much scrutiny for a touchdown pass in my life. All this morning on, Get Up and First Take, they're talking about how, bad of a pass that was to DJ Moore, and Caleb hit him in the chest right between the numbers and scored a touchdown. It's a touchdown. I don't understand how it's so, scrutinized. But anyways, it was awesome. Defense played outstanding. Picked off Shador 3 times. It was a lot of fun. So that was a tough defense. Myles Garrett almost got the sack record against us, but he didn't. He needs 1 more to do that. But, yeah, it was awesome. It was a great win. We needed to get the win, and they say really good teams beat really bad teams. We kicked their ass, so it was good.
There we go.
Good stuff.
Big-time Bears win, and it sets up an interesting matchup this upcoming week. All right, let's move on to the standings here. Steve's still on top after a 9-7 week at 152-72, and then in second place, we got Joey with a 148-76 overall record.
Yeah, I'm still in second. Ray tied me, though, 148-76, gang. This guy Steve, man, I think that he's just, unless I turn it around in the playoffs or these next 2 or 3, regular season weeks, I don't know, man. He might be taking the run away with it, but it's only a 4 win window. But I need to get one of those 11-5 or 13-2 weeks back in me again.
I would love to see Joey somehow claim the lead. That
That'd
would be
be
absolutely
sick.
awesome. Rounding out the top three, technically we have Hecty with a 147 and 77 overall record, 9-7 week as well. Matt had the second best week following Chris's mom. We'll talk about her in a second. But yeah, I'm in fifth place after a 9-7 record. I'm 143 and 81 on the year. And then in seventh place, we have Chris over here with a 139 and 85 record.
Tied with DJ and my mom, with Sean not too far behind, one game behind. I need another big win. I went 10-6 last week, which was like one of the better weeks outside of my mom. Shout out mom.
Damn, 12-4, Tina.
Yeah, Matt had a good week. Shout out Matt, Matt. But yeah, I'm gonna have to do something to turn this thing around. We'll see.
Yes, sir. All right, and now let's get straight into the action here. We have Thursday Night Football, and the long-awaited debut of the Seattle Seahawks. Rivalry uniforms are coming into play this week. They're gray uniforms. They're sound uniforms. They're facing the Los Angeles Rams this Thursday night. A nice NFC divisional matchup. Both teams looking to take that division, and it's going to come down to the wire for both them, and you can also throw in the 49ers in that mix because they are hot as hell. Both teams 11-3 and looking for any and every way they can win this division. And matchups like this really matter down the stretch. So really pivotal matchup down late in the season. Man, you have to go with the Los Angeles Rams. They absolutely dismantled the Detroit Lions last week. And it was, something that maybe some people expected, but not to that degree. They made the Detroit Lions look like they're absolutely nothing. Now, I know it's a divisional matchup on the road. It's going to be a tough victory for the Rams, but I think they can pull it off. But I wouldn't be surprised if Seattle wins. It was a lackluster performance last week against the Colts. They only kicked field goals and ended up winning the game. So they were facing a 44-year-old quarterback coming out of retirement, first time playing in almost 5 years. So you got to take that with a grain of salt. Seattle didn't look too good last week. Rams looked absolutely amazing. So I think things are going to even out, especially in a divisional matchup at home.
I got to go with the Rams as well, man. I mean, they've just been proven that time and time again how dominant they are. I know they coughed up the game against the Panthers, but like you said, the Lions game was very impressive. Matthew Stafford has been continuing the MVP train, the MVP ballot. I'm liking what I'm seeing there. Seattle was in a dogfight to a 44-year-old quarterback. It's not to say that Matthew Stafford is spring chicken or whatever, but I think that he's a lot better in shape than a 44-year-old Phillip Rivers. So I think that Matthew Stafford and the boys get the job done in Seattle, kind of cement themselves as that top seed in that division and that future NFC West division, champion.
I'm going to fade you guys. I'm gonna take the Seahawks this week. Look, the Rams won at home last time, and it was a close game. It was 21-19. This Seattle Seahawks defense is legit. So is the Rams offense, though. And so we're going to see really which one is better. I'm going to go with the 12th man in the defense. And honestly, I've been backing the Seahawks. So if they win this game, they'll be leading the division. Still very, very much up for grabs. I mean, the 49ers can technically still win the division. But they got a tough matchup this week. I'm going to take the Seahawks at home. I think they're a sneaky good team that, no one's really realizing how good they actually are. I think they had a weird down week last week, like you said, and, barely won. But I think they bounced back at home this week. I'll take us to the next game. This is a Saturday game. First game on Saturday. Not a fan. We've talked about that before. We got the Eagles playing the Commanders. I'm going to just go ahead and say the Eagles should win this game. I think they play them twice in the next 3 weeks, I'm pretty sure. So that should be two big, easy wins for the Eagles. Could be a trap game, but Marcus Mariota, I don't think gets the job done. Eagles' defense is legit, so as long as Jalen Hurts doesn't turn the ball over 4 times, Eagles should win.
Yeah, I got to agree with you. I mean, they had a pretty good performance against the Las Vegas Raiders last week, given it is the Raiders. But let's go with the Philadelphia Eagles here. They should get a solidifying win, a win that puts them in position to win the NFC East. Cowboys are still hot on their tails. The win recently by the Cowboys against the Eagles is a scar that, you know, the Eagles are just like, damn, why did this happen to us? But it's going to come down to the wire. Like Chris said, they're going to play each other twice at the end of the season. So this week and then I believe week 18. So tough stretch for this Eagles team, but I do think they handle business here.
Easy pick. Give me the Eagles. The Commanders are shutting down Jaden Daniels for the remainder of the season.
Yep.
So it's obvious. I think it's a no-brainer, this game to pick. If the Eagles somehow lose this game, it's going to make things very interesting in the NFC playoff picture, but I don't expect them to lose this game. They're one of the top seeds in the NFC. They haven't been playing like it recently. I feel like they're going to correct that and wipe the floor with a division rival on, you know, a Saturday doubleheader. And speaking of doubleheader, I will take us to the next game because we have the Green Bay Packers going into Soldier Field, who have experiencing some very chilly temperatures over in Chicago. So it's going to be a pretty crazy weather game, I would expect. Saturday night football. Not a fan of the Saturday games. Keep NFL football on Sunday, please and thank you. I'm going to rock with the Green Bay Packers, obviously. I feel like the fan base is a little bit deflated right now after the Micah Parsons injury, after the Christian Watson injury, after the Zach Tom injury, after the Evan Williams injury. There was just a laundry list of injuries after this Broncos game where at the end of the third quarter, we just felt defeated, deflated, and just wanted to get the hell out of there and check on our guys. And some of them came away unscathed, but obviously we lost our defensive leader in Micah Parsons, and it's going to prove to be big in this game. There's not going to be that guy to, you know, they were running boot a lot in the game 2 weeks ago because Micah Parsons, his presence, you know, Caleb couldn't stand and deliver in the pocket. Now they're going to be able to unlock that, and Caleb's going to be able to throw deep in the pocket and actually stay there and not have to run around, potentially, unless, you know, Van Ness, Gary, Enigbari all got to step up since the next man up mentality, but you can't replicate a presence like Micah Parsons. So going to go with the Packers. Hopefully the offense is enough to kind of carry us through and the defense steps up and plays for their brothers. But this game is, really, really hard for the Packers. A lot of adversity to face.
I'm obviously going to rock with my Bears. Bear down, baby. Good, better, best. Let's go. Ben Johnson said we're not going to play our best football till the end of the year. Well, we're getting pretty damn close, Ben. And things are looking up. I mean, Bears have been really, really good since we've had our bye and kind of reset after starting 0-2. I think we kind of want that Minnesota game back, definitely from early in the year. But we need to go out and we need to win this game. Green Bay always kicks our ass, and a lot of wind is out of their sail right now. And honestly, this win would be huge. It would pretty much solidify us making the playoffs as well. So obviously I'm rocking with the Bears. We're getting Tremaine Edmonds back. He's a captain. He's a leader on defense. I think he was tied for most interceptions in the NFL when he went out. So that's going to be huge. Defense is playing incredible, and they're only going to get healthier. Hopefully Roman's back. He's the second player that was supposed to come back off injury that got hurt in warm-ups, though. It was him, and I think Kyler Gordon was, like, the week before. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of, like, not great because you're expecting them to be there up until kickoff pretty much, and then they get ruled out. Something maybe keep an eye on, but hopefully both of them are back. Caleb, I don't really want to mention it, but he is creeping up and can make a run at 4,000 yards this year. Don't really care about it. Much more focused on winning this game against the Packers and hopefully winning the division.
Yeah, I got to agree with you, Chris. I'm going to go with the Chicago Bears. Look, like, even before the Parsons injury, I was already thinking, like, man, they're going to split this, right? The home team is going to win each of these matchups. Green Bay won the home one last time. I was expecting Chicago to win this one. Now with the Parsons news, like, in that Packers game or 2 weeks ago, dude, like, Caleb was running for his life. Like, every time he snapped the ball, it was pretty much, I'm rolling out, I got to escape Parsons because he was up in his face. It's going to be a big difference. Joey mentioned it. He accounts for almost half or more than half of the pressures on this defense. So you take a guy like that out, it allows everyone else to put a little more effort and step up a little more to the plate. But like Chris said, knocks the wind in their sails, makes things a little more challenging. I think it's going to be a close game. I don't know if Green Bay covers the 1 point spread. That would entail them winning the game. I don't have them winning, so give me a Chicago Bears spread on that one.
Yeah,
But,
Sam.
yeah. Outside of that, we're going to keep it moving to the first game on the Sunday slate. We have the Buffalo Bills at the Cleveland Browns. And Cleveland, did they take a hot bath or what, man? Because, like, that was a freezing game. I loved seeing all those videos from that Chicago Bears game last week. My cousins went there, and, dude,
Really?
I saw videos of people getting ready for it, and it was just, like, layers. Still going to be kind of cold in Cleveland, so still dealing with elements. This is the Battle of Lake Erie between the Bills and Browns. I'm going to go with the Bills. I'm pretty happy I got the pick right last week with the Buffalo Bills beating the Patriots. It was in doubt, man. Dave Portnoy making a big fraudulent video at halftime saying, you're frauds, the Bills, all this stuff. Dude, they came back and answered with 35 points, dude. That was absolutely insane. I was just, like, watching the scoreboard keep on going up in favor of Buffalo. I'm like, oh, God, here we go. And then they finally took the lead there. Buffalo's legit. I do think they make a good playoff run. Who knows if they end up capitalizing and win the division. They have one more game against the Jets, so that's pretty much an automatic win. Now you just got to hope for the Patriots to drop one soon. Maybe the Dolphins do them a favor in week 17 or 18, whatever week it will be, in week 18. So let's see what happens. But Buffalo should get an easy win here.
I'm going with the Bills. I'm so pissed that the Packers lost the game to fucking the Browns this year. That just really pisses me off. They're so bad. And then we lost them like week 3, so it was just early and often. You didn't really know what they were. We know what they are. They're a bad football team. The Bills, we know exactly what they are. They're a good football team, and they're one of Super Bowl favorite of the AFC. I think coming out of it, I think that they probably can make the Super Bowl. If, everything goes accordingly and Josh Allen puts his cape on and does what he needs to do. There are a lot of teams in the AFC right now that are, better record-wise, but I think that the game against the Patriots, a team with a great record, obviously they came back down 20, 21 or whatever it was, and looked awesome and put them away. So if they can keep doing stuff like that at this point of the season, they're going to be very successful in the later point of the year. So I'm going to rock with the Buffalo Bills here.
Yeah, I'm taking the Bills, of course, bro. That game last week was awesome. I was watching it with my buddy who was a Patriots fan. It was his birthday, unfortunately. So that was kind of tough because he was pretty hyped. Like, we were both pretty hyped at halftime, like, pretty happy. And then Josh Allen put the cape on, and when he gets hot, bro, like, he's hard to stop, man. He makes every throw. He's running for his life, running for 50 yards. That game was awesome. It was kind of like a heavyweight fight, like blow for blow. It was great. Buffalo came out on top somehow. They're keeping it rolling. I watched the Browns last week too. They're awful. Maybe Myles Garrett gets a sack record on Josh Allen this week. Cool quarterback to kind of do it on.
He'd lay down for him too, like how Favre did for Strahan.
Yeah.
He'd be like, all right.
And then you're gonna get that one dude, Mark
Gastineau. Mark Gastineau.
He's gonna call Myles Garrett. But no, it was awesome. But maybe he gets that sack record. That's pretty much the only thing the Browns have to look forward to. But yeah, honestly, I don't think the Bills catch the Patriots. If they win this week, they have a really easy schedule. But Bills can make some noise in the wild card spot for sure.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be tough. I don't think they catch them in terms of the division. It was a shirt and hat game for the Patriots. They shut that door on them. But the door's still open. The Bills could somehow win it, but at the end of the day, it's the Patriots' division to lose right now. Let's keep it moving. We have another 1 o'clock game. We have the Cincinnati Bengals at the Miami Dolphins. This game was previously slated for Sunday Night Football. Got flexed out for the Patriots and the Ravens. So more interesting matchup. Let's not lie here. But first time this season, Dolphins are wearing their throwbacks. Of course, it's finally when they're out of playoff contention, unfortunately. But outside of that, I'm going to go with the Dolphins. I think the throwback magic will be in the air. I would love to see what the storyline is going into this matchup, whether it's going to be Tua as the starting quarterback. That's definitely like the biggest overarching thing because Pittsburgh performance in Pittsburgh, the weather was definitely accounted for, but an interception early and just crucial downs, you get sacked and you cost your team field positioning, X, Y, and Z. There was a point in this game that the Dolphins clearly were the better team in the first half, and then just couldn't account for it because crucial moments, Tua went down. So a lot of fingers are pointing in his direction, rightfully so, given the defense allowed 28 straight unanswered points. But that's also the offense's fault for not being able to, stay on the field long enough and get some points on the board. But who wants to go next year?
I'll go. I'm excited. This game's a little interesting because both of these teams are eliminated, so it's just like a fuck it bowl. I don't know if anybody's.
Who's playing quarterback?
I'm gonna say, like, is anybody really gonna play their starting quarterbacks?
Yeah, who's playing?
If I'm the Bengals, I'm not rolling a freaking Joe Burrow out there who's been hurt all year. I'm gonna sit his ass. I'm gonna sit Jamar Chase. I'm gonna sit everyone that I'm paying money to, for the rest of the season. I mean, there's no point of playing their guys unless you're just kind of trying to make entertaining TV. I think that the Bengals are in more of the business of like shut it down and like let's kind of figure this shit out next year with like a healthy quarterback and like a fresh off season and maybe make some investments on the offensive line. But I don't know. They could play Joe Burrow. They could play whoever. I'm gonna go with the Bengals. I don't know if they play. I think that they might still play Joe Burrow. So if not, I might switch to the Dolphins. But this game is very meaningless. But I'll go with the Bengals.
Real quick, the only reason I would say they play Joe Burrow is like incentives, like any like incentive based things. Like you'll probably sit him out for like the final game, maybe the last.
But he's been like out the whole season, so is he even close to like hitting any incentive?
I don't know, but I'm pretty sure there's probably some in his contract that like he wants to try to strive for while he can, so he can still get some repercussion of money from this previous season.
All right.
If that's the case, I'll probably take the Bengals. But for now, I'll rock with you, Austin. I'll take the home team and the throwback unis. I don't really love Mike McDaniel coming out now and saying Tua's not the guy. And
right.
Why? Like, right when you're eliminated, like, why? Like, you should have said that, like, weeks ago and then tried to go a different route, honestly. But, like, granted, you don't really have a really good second option, really. But, like, he could have said that like 6 weeks ago. It's not like he's much worse or much better or much different at all. Then you could have maybe made a play for a trade or something. Like doing it now is like kicking a guy while he's down.
The whole situation has been badly handled in Miami
everything.
The entire year. From fucking September to December. It's just been a shit show.
I mean, like, what do you think, bro? Like, I mean, it's your team. Like, it's gotta be hard to admit, bro. But, it's kind of screwed up.
No, definitely. Like I said, like the first interception, just like, he shouldn't have thrown that ball. Bad play management. Like there should have been someone holding that corner. That's how like that ball got picked off. Outside of that, like he didn't play too well. Crucial downs, like he folded under the pressure. Literally in the fourth quarter, they're like, all right, let's make this thing as simple as possible. Short, quick throws. Like, we got to pass the ball because if we get an incompletion, clock stops, we still have a chance to, like, build up this comeback. And they were doing that well. And then it was just like, why weren't we doing this early on in the game? Why are you having long developing plays when a quarterback who hasn't been successful this season pretty much at all, I don't think he's had a game that he's passed for over 250 yards.
He's had, like, pretty much one good season where he was like, holy shit, this guy can be very good.
He led the league in yards, didn't he?
Yeah, in 2023.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's just very disappointing. I thought after the Browns game they should have made some type of move because that was, like, the bottom of the barrel. Like, week one, like, you had an awful showcasing. That was week one. You had a relatively healthy team. Like, you still got to keep the things on the track. After that Browns game, it was just like, man, like, this really isn't it.
Is there any way to, like, get out from under it? Like, I mean, is there any way to, like, trade the guy? Or, like, I mean, I don't know. Like,
I don't know, dude. The timing just trips me up, bro. Just, like, why now? Why not just let him, like, finish out the year, bro? Like, just, there's 3 games left, dog. Like,
there's a long offseason.
He's not like this old-ass veteran
I know,
that's just,
but
shut him down and then we'll get this guy Quinn Ewers some shot. Like,
you know what
No, this guy's supposed to be the franchise. You know what I mean? You can't just shut him down.
One of them's got to be gone by the start of next season. McDaniel or Tua. Has to be.
Yeah.
If you come out and say that, it has to be.
Unfortunately, it's a lot easier to move off of McDaniel than it is Tua because you're going to need someone to either trade him or you just cut him and you take a lot of dead money, and that's like franchise death. So I don't think the Miami Dolphins do that. I'm going to keep us moving, though. We have the next game at Kansas City Chiefs at the Tennessee Titans. First time in a long time the Chiefs have been eliminated from playoff contention in the last, 10 years. So long stretch of postseason football coming to an end for the Kansas City Chiefs. No Mahomes tore his ACL in the fourth quarter on the final drive. Gardner Minshew had to come in and try to make clutch plays. He looked decent in the first couple plays, and then unfortunately threw an interception, game-sealing one. Honestly, I do think this is a weird game, and the Titans somehow get another victory here. I don't think they want to win. It's going to help worsen their draft stock, but, I think they are, for some reason, the better team than the Kansas City Chiefs. I could be wrong. Gardner Minshew could play possibly well, but KC's eliminated, and they're like, probably, hey, let's shut everything down. Let's lose as many games as possible now since we're officially out of playoff contention.
There has never been an NFL Game Picker podcast where the Chiefs have not made the playoffs.
Yeah.
Or probably AFC Championship game, honestly. I'm still rock with the Chiefs. I love Gardner Minshew despite his flaws. I like watching him play. I think, honestly, the opposite of Austin. I think Tennessee is more eyeing the draft than the Chiefs. I mean, the Chiefs are kind of in the middle of nowhere. So they might as well go out and, still play their players. And, Chris Jones didn't even know he was eliminated, so he definitely would have shown up next week and tried. So if they wouldn't have told him. But I'm going to rock with the Chiefs. It sucks. Patrick Mahomes tore his ACL and cost the Chiefs probably the playoffs and me my fantasy football playoffs. So that was a real bummer. Not going to say what I did on the pod, but it was brutal, man. But yeah, I'm going to rock with the Chiefs. I just like Gardner Minshew, man.
I like Gardner Minshew as well. Shout out to Southwest Florida because he goes there and trains and lives in his van. Very cool. Saw him on the side of the road jogging one time, and that was pretty random.
Shout out jogging.
Shout out to jog. It's a soft J apparently. It's called yogging. Yeah,
Oh.
it's a new fad that she wants me to try. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the Chiefs as well. I'm gonna go with Gardner Minshew. I'm gonna go with the van life. The Titans have just been that team all year where they just kind of... I don't even know how they beat the Browns. The Browns are bad, but, come on. The Titans are really bad, too. And Cam Ward's the number one pick. Yeah, that's, their only limelight. And I don't know. I don't have too much faith in them. I think that Kansas City still has the bones to actually win this game without Patrick Mahomes, even though they're eliminated from playoff contention, but... we'll see what happens. This game also does not mean anything, and it kind of is very unfortunate. Like you said, first time in NFL Game Picker history, the Chiefs games don't matter. So
Might be the last time Mahomes and Kelsey are on the field together, too.
Some are saying the Jets are offering 5 first-round picks for Patrick Mahomes in the offseason.
Do you think they still offer that now with
Yes,
this injury?
I 100% think that they would do it.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Your boys on the 1 and 2s here.
Put a boogie in it. There you go.
Scratching my nosy.
All right. Well, Joey, take us to this.
I got
game.
you. We got the Chargers going into Jerry World to face off against the Cowboys. Give me the Chargers, man. The Cowboys have a 1% chance to make the playoffs. I think they're pretty much dead in the water. If they can't beat 9 in the Vikings, and I know that JJ had a pretty decent game last week, even though the Vikings are eliminated too. I don't know if they're going to have a good game against Justin Herbert and then a playoff hopeful team like the Chargers. A win's going to go a longer way for the Chargers. Give me LA, give me Harbaugh, give me Herbert, give me the Chargers.
Chargers are a tough team, man. Really tough. Herbert's playing with a broken hand, tough. I'm a rock with the Chargers. I think it could kind of go either way, but like you mentioned, Joey, Dallas just dropped a huge game to the Vikings, kind of dropping them pretty much out of the playoffs, which is kind of crazy. There's going to be a lot of new, fresh faces in the playoffs this year. I'm rocking with the Chargers. That defense is legit, so for me to win this pick, hopefully that defense shuts down the Cowboys' offense, which is actually pretty good. But I'm going to rock with the Chargers, and hopefully they get some people back healthy for the playoffs because that O-line is atrocious right now.
Yeah, I got to agree with you. I'm going to go with the Los Angeles Chargers as well. Dallas losing to the Vikings on Sunday Night Football last week was abysmal and not great for them. It just really put them in a position where they need to win out. They need the Eagles to lose out to win the division. So long road ahead for this Dallas Cowboys team. I don't think they get it done, unfortunately. I was rooting for them to do so. But speaking of the team that did beat them, we have the Minnesota Vikings at the New York Giants. A big, whopping nothing game like Joey's been talking about recently. I'm going to go with the Vikings. They are the clear-cut better team. Jackson Dart keeps on putting himself in position to be on the concussion protocol. I know there's a sensitivity once a player gets a concussion. You just constantly I lived it with the Tua situation, but right now, with Dart, it's just the way he plays ball, and he's always going to put himself in position there. So, I like what he does on the field, but if he's not on the field, then you can't contribute. Mm-hmm. So that's just my take on that.
Yeah, I think I heard a stat on part of my take that said he's been in the 5 out of the 10 games or something like that he's played. Something like that. Crazy amount. Anyways, so I agree with you. Like, I don't know if that's going to last long term in the NFL. It might give us some Jameis time, which I'm always here for. I don't root for Dart to get hurt, but I'm going to take the Vikings. They just looked better last week. If McCarthy can play like he did last week, I think they can beat the Giants pretty easily. They're favored on the road so far, so that tells you what Vegas has to say about this. So I'm going to rock with the line, and I don't want the Vikings to win, but I think they get the win.
God, these games are so bad this
Means
week.
nothing.
These games are so bad this week. Give me the Vikings. I mean, yeah, best of a bad situation in this game once again. I mean, Vikings have kind of shown promise in their win against the Cowboys last week. The Giants, like you said, can't really stay healthy all year. That guy freaking Dart might be in a freaking wheelchair by the time he turns 28. I don't know. It's bad. I wouldn't want to be on this Giants offense if I played football in the NFL. Yeah, give me the Vikings. They're going to take care of business, I guess, whatever business is left for them. I'll keep us pushing to another terrible game. We have the New York Jets, worst situation, at the New Orleans Saints. Give me the Saints. Tyler Shuck actually kind of playing spoiler in these past couple games within their division and just making things interesting. So I think they do it once again and get a win over the Jets and slowly but surely ruin their draft position over there in New Orleans.
I'm also rock with the Saints. I think there's some teams, and then I forgot what that coach's quote was, but like, you got teams and then you just got ball clubs. I'm gonna rock with some guys that just go out and play some ball. I kind of like Shuck, so I'm gonna take the Saints. He sneakily low-key has the most wins from that draft class so far. I don't know if a lot of people are thinking about that, but hey, here he is, and the team's probably going to draft a quarterback next draft. Yeah. But for right now, he's not looking that bad, and I mean, I don't think he's a franchise guy, but he could have a career as maybe like a steady backup for a good while maybe. He might be serviceable, let's just say that.
Yeah, I got to agree with you guys. I'm going to go with the Saints. Tyler Shuck, I mean, when they played against the Dolphins, I saw it in person, dude. Like, he actually can play ball relatively well. And, there's a lot of throws that he can make that a lot of guys probably that were in front of him couldn't make. So that's why he's been doing so well relatively late. It's hard to tell this late in the year. You have a lot of teams that are in positions that aren't favorable to them, so they're not really playing their hardest ball. But two teams that are playing their hardest ball are these two NFC South teams, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Carolina Panthers. Man, these two teams face off this week, and then they face off again in Week 18. Probably going to be for the division when they play each other that final week. But for right now, both teams are tied at 7-7 after both dropping divisional matchups in big spots where they actually really needed it. So who knows? We may actually have another losing record NFC South divisional champ. Tampa Bay looking for 5 straight, and I don't think it's ever been done for the NFC South. It's in years past, it was always like, this team's won, this team's won, this team's won, with that Drew Brees, Matt Ryan, and Cam Newton era. It was a weird stretch of football there for that division. Now, this year, Bryce Young's coming alive and making himself notable, but you fall twice to the Saints. I mean, that's just not great ball. A team that's supposed to be tanking. I understand divisional rival. Things get weird in those matchups. But I'm going to go with the sure thing, and that is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're a little bit more solid foundation there. They got a lot healthier heading into that matchup against the Falcons. Don't really know how they let them get back into this game. I can tell you it's Kyle Pitts. But outside of that, I don't think the Panthers have a Kyle Pitts, pretty much.
I honestly, bro, I want to take the Buccaneers. I'm going to fade you, though. I'm not super confident in this pick, although I think it is really a toss-up. Neither team is playing the best football right now, but the Panthers are playing better football than the Bucs, who have dropped 5 of the last 6 games. And Panthers just beat the Rams 2 weeks ago, who are the number 1 team in everyone's power rankings right now. For those reasons, I'm going to take the Panthers. I think they do have a guy. I like Tedero McMillan. I think he's a beast. Not a huge Bryce Young fan, but I think him and that defense does just enough to keep games close, and the Bucs have not been able to win these close games lately. Give me the Panthers at home.
The Panthers have been so shocking this year. I mean, it's really, really crazy and kind of cool to see that they're in contention, making it relevant, and, you know, actually having fun and playing good football and giving the fan base some life again. They did lose that game to the Saints last week, which makes me kind of want to take Tampa Bay here. And I think I'm going to. I'm going to take Tampa Bay. I would expect that these teams would, you know, maybe split because they both play each other again, like, I think in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be very interesting. It's going to come down to the wire. I'm going to rock with the Buccaneers. They got Mike Evans back. They're getting a little bit healthier on the offensive side of the ball. I'm just going to rock with them just because I feel like they're the team that kind of has been fitted for this division title for a while, but that's about it.
Just going to say, since he became a starter, Tyler Shuck has beat both these teams. Just saying.
I know. I've seen it. Yeah.
Just saying, throwing it out there.
Like, right. They
I don't
did,
think
like,
he's
hey,
that bad.
They did, yeah, I could say the same thing for the Buccaneers, right? They lost to the Saints. It looks a little weird. I just think the Buccaneers are more of a championship caliber, playoff caliber team.
Who would you rather see in the
Panthers,
playoffs?
like, face?
No, just in
Yeah, like
general,
who-
like
the
watch
division?
a game in the playoffs. Who would you guys rather
I guess
see?
I'd rather see the Buccaneers in the playoffs.
Probably,
I don't know,
right?
right?
More
I
exciting.
would rather see the Buccaneers.
More
as well.
exciting.
Yeah.
So that's for that reason I'm going to pick the Buccaneers. But I'll keep us pushing to the next game. Jesus Christ. Another nothing bowl. We got the Atlanta
Bird Bowl,
Falcons.
baby. What do you
mean?
mean?
Get
Let's
out
go.
the binoculars. Caw-caw! Listen,
Let's go.
who wins in a fight? A Falcon or a Cardinal?
Falcon all day.
Yeah,
dude.
give me that
All
dirty bird.
Dirty. Give us some dirty birds,
Yeah,
baby.
lock me in for the Atlanta Falcons. They're a better team of a bad situation all year than the Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals are just, I don't even know what to think of them anymore. Kyler Murray is probably done in Arizona come next season. They have Jacoby Brissett as the quarterback for the entire year. It's been a freaking terrible experience. The Falcons, they've lost Penix. They're with Cousins. We know the story. They're better of a bad situation. Give me the Dirty Birdies.
I'm going to take Atlanta as well. Like you said, they're just the better team in 2 crappy situations. I think Gannon is probably gone too from Arizona at the end of the year. The only bright spot is the tight end, McBride. I think he's like breaking records right now that no one is noticing or talking about. I think he has like 3 back-to-back 1,000-yard receiving seasons or something like that, and it's like more than like Travis Kelce hasn't even done that. So like low-key with all these crappy quarterbacks, he's getting the job done. I'm sure he's been a fantasy like savior for a lot of people, but give me the Falcons. I guess they're the better team. Kirko Chains, I love ya.
Yeah, I am going to take the Falcons in this Bird Bowl here as well.
Hell yeah.
It's, it was crazy seeing what happened last week with them coming back and winning on Thursday Night Football and the way they did. Pretty much their whole offense was pretty much cow pits. Like, it was, like, everyone did their part here and there. Kirk had a lot of errant throws and, like, came up short with some of these receivers. But for some reason, when it came to cow pits, man was on the money. So, outside of that, man.
He's unleashed him.
Yeah, like, this Cardinals team, McBride's the only bright spot. Marvin Harrison Jr., like, has been in and out of the lineup all season long, more so out. So, let's see if he even plays, suits up, but I don't think it really makes a big difference. Kyler Murray's not playing in this one, so not a lot of big names for this Arizona Cardinals team. I'm going to keep us pushing, though. We have the Jacksonville Jaguars at the Denver Broncos. Broncos got a big-time win against Joey's Packers last week. Jaguars stomped the New York Jets last week. Trevor Lawrence looking really well. Did well in fantasy-wise, at least. Etienne had 3 touchdowns. I mean, it was absolutely insane. Does Jacksonville have enough to beat this Broncos team on the road? We saw last week what caliber team this Broncos team is, and they've been the comeback kids pretty much all season long. They haven't had massive clutch moments in terms of like winning in the final seconds, but they've had comeback victories pretty much all season long. Are we going to have another slow start from this Broncos team? That's pretty much been the storyline with them almost all season long. Is they start off slow, but somehow just pull it off at the end somehow, some way. I'm going to go with the Broncos. I do think they're the better team. Big time win last week. Definitely swing my opinion here. Joey, what do you think?
People were saying the Broncos were fraudulent. I can definitely tell you that they're not. Give me the Broncos. Nothing against Jacksonville. They've been playing great all year. I saw that Bashal Tutin is not going to play until probably the playoffs. So that kind of sucks. He's been pretty good for them at running back, rookie sensation over there in Jacksonville, Duval County. 10-4 Jags. Really cool to see at this point of the season. They're going to be a playoff team. I don't think they get the win this week, but they're going to be fun come January. Give me the Denver Broncos.
The Jags should honestly be 11-3. I don't know if you remember that bullshit call week 1 with Travis Hunter against the Panthers. I don't know if you remember that PI call. I was working that week, I'm pretty sure, and I remember like the Jags should have won that game, but pretty much they blew it because of a bad call. I'm going to rock with Denver. I think if Bo Nix plays how he played against the Packers, the Broncos could end up in the Super Bowl. They are one of the best teams in the NFL. And I think it's just going to be too hard to play there. Trevor Lawrence made me kind of eat my words last week. Granted, it was against the Jets, who had pretty much gotten rid of everyone on defense. So take that with a grain of salt, but like you still got to go out there. They're still NFL players, although they're probably practice squad players. You still got to play. ETN looked great. Jacksonville is going to be in the playoffs. I love to see that, but give me the Denver Broncos. I think they're the better team here. I'll keep it pushing. We got the Vegas Raiders going to Houston to take on the Texans. Go ahead and give me the Texans. That defense is way too good. C.J. Stroud seems to be getting a little more comfortable. And yeah, the offense is actually starting to look a little bit better. Nico Collins is a beast and continues to be a beast. Texans are going to be scary to face in the playoffs, and honestly could kind of still catch the Jags and win the division. So you never know.
My bad. It's not out of the realm for the Texans to win the division. The Jacksonville Jaguars losing this week would help that case. And I do believe they finished the season off against the Jaguars. If not, they have one more matchup against them. So, interesting ball down the stretch here. And the Colts looking like they may be the ones slipping out of that AFC South. So, give me the Houston Texans. Cupcake game for this Houston Texans team. They're favored by 2 touchdowns. Should be absolutely a big difference.
Yeah, easy game to pick here. Give me the Houston Texans. The Raiders have been terrible all year. I'm hearing that Pete Carroll and the Raiders are coming for a divorce, a split in the offseason. I don't think the Raiders are ever going to get it right, man. We do this shit every year with them. Who are they going to hire as their next coach? It's not this guy. Are they going to promote this guy within? I know this guy was pretty decent for them when they fired the guy and they made an interim coach and then he won. I don't know. It's just really ugly all around for the Raiders, and I'm just tired of hearing the bullshit narrative that comes with them. Texans are a good football team. They're going to be really fun in the playoffs. And, yeah, they can oh my God! They could catch. Jesus, couldn't catch the word. They could catch the Jags with a win this week and a Jags L against the Broncos. This is a really big week for the Texans. So, give me the Texans. But I'll move us to the next game. We got Rodgers and the Steelers facing off against a team that he's familiar with, the Detroit Lions in Detroit. I need the Steelers to win this game for the Packers to clinch the playoffs this week. I don't think they get it done. I'm going with the Lions. Lions, I know that they lost to the Rams, but they did it with style, if you will. They looked pretty good running the ball and passing, but the Rams just kind of boat raced them and outperformed them. They were the better team. I think that the Lions are a better team than the Steelers, even though the Steelers are a wild card team because they're leading the division in the AFC. It's just the better of a situation than the Lions are facing in their division. Lions are better. Give me the Lions.
I'm going to take the Lions as well. Steelers have kind of been just good enough to beat some okay and some good teams, but I don't think they're up there with the Lions. And like you said, Lions almost got a win against what is now the number 1 ranked team in the NFL, the Rams. And like I guess you could say, sure, they did it with style, although they did kind of blow a big lead. But I'm going to take the Lions at home. They desperately need this win. Pittsburgh does too, but they're kind of in a better spot, I think, than the Detroit Lions are overall. And I don't know. I don't want 3 teams from our division to make the playoffs, but I think the Lions get it done here. That offense is deadly.
Yeah, I find it hard to pick between these two teams right now because you have both teams in a very desperate, like, need it, gotta have it situation. Detroit, I would argue, needs it way more than the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Mhm.
Steelers still have somewhat of a comfortable lead on this AFC North division. Meanwhile, the Lions could be out of playoff contention with a loss here. So things can get real dicey for the Lions with a loss. I don't think it happens. I do think Detroit bounces back. You know, tough buzzsaw opponent last week in the Rams. Then you follow it up with another formidable opponent in the Steelers. This time you're at home. Hopefully, you know, they get to adjust and be in their top game performance because it's tough without having their main tight end there. The offense looked relatively well, but they, like Chris said, they got boat raced by this Los Angeles Rams team.
Mhm.
Moving on to Sunday Night Football, we have the New England Patriots at the Baltimore Ravens. Interesting matchup here. I don't know if the Patriots can win the division with a win here, but yeah, they can. They can. So it will be interesting. Moving forward, the Patriots just need to win one more game to win the division. Do they get a win in Baltimore? Baltimore in a similar situation as the Lions. They need it. They lose, they're pretty much cooked in this one. Meanwhile, the Patriots can afford another loss, but then you risk the possibility of not winning the division and worsening your standings in the playoffs. So it's really hard for me to decide here. I'm going to go with the team that needs it more, and that is the Baltimore Ravens. I'm liking what I saw last week against the Bengals. That was a down-and-out team, though, so they kind of stomped and handled their business. Outside of that, you're welcoming in one of the top teams in the NFL. You got to come and show up correctly. Otherwise, it's not going to be good for this Baltimore Ravens team.
I'm going to go ahead and take the Patriots. I think they go ahead and get the job done and bounce back. They're too good of a team this year. I really like Drake May and what I've seen. Ravens are just too up and down. They boat raced the Bengals last week, which was kind of surprising to me. Honestly, I thought the Bengals would put up a much better fight, especially with Joe Burrow. It seems like they're never down and out of it, which, not to mention, I think that marriage with Zach Johnson, or whatever his name is, comes to an end. Whoever the head coach is for Bengals.
Taylor?
Yeah,
Zach Taylor. But I think the Patriots are a better team. It is kind of crazy, though, that the Ravens will probably get eliminated from the playoffs here, and maybe you see them sit Lamar for the rest of the year, because I don't think he's fully healthy. So give me the Pats on the road.
Give me the Patriots. Better team all year, more consistent. Didn't like what I saw last week in the second half of that game against the Bills. Played with their foot a little bit. Should have took care of business and beat the Bills. Didn't. We know what happened. They're a great team. They're one of the top teams in the league. The Ravens have had, like you said, Chris, an up and down season. I think if they lose this week, they are officially kind of eliminated with 2 games left. Well, it all depends on how the Steelers work in all that game. So
That too, yeah.
it all could fall differently. But, yeah, give me the Jesus Christ. I just brought up the Steelers. Give me the New England Patriots to beat the Ravens. I'll take us to the next game, though. We got the San Francisco 49ers going to Indianapolis on Monday Night Football to face off against 44-year-old Phillip Rivers in his second game in the league. I liked what I saw from Phillip Rivers last week. I mean, he showed me a little bit more than what I was expecting him to. I thought it was going to be a lot worse, not going to lie. But he's running into another NFC West team who has a killer defense in the San Francisco 49ers. I like the 49ers in this game. They're just a better team right now than the Colts without Daniel Jones and everything, that whole entire situation. Colts are still no slouch. I think that if I was a betting man, I do like the Colts spread in this game. So +6. I think that's a little bit safer than -6 for the 49ers. I don't think it'll be a blowout. I think it might be a little bit close what we saw with the Seahawks game, but give me the 49ers.
I'm going to take 49ers on the road. Yeah, it was cool to see Rivers throw a touchdown and do his classic, little leg kick. That got me going. That was kind of sick. But, just seeing him throw the ball in general, it's like he has to put everything he has into it. The pads he wore weren't doing him any justice.
No.
He looked kind of tubby.
Tubby.
He looked a little old. I mean, maybe go out and boost your stats, my guy, but don't get killed out there. I don't know. I think there has to be somebody better out there to play quarterback. It is unfortunate to see what's happened to Indianapolis. 49ers desperately need this win because then they have the Bears on Sunday night the next week. Then they end the season against Seattle, which, like, that very well could be for the division. So they desperately need, like, a easier win here. I think they get it done. Shout out Kyle Shanahan. He needs to win Coach of the Year at some point, especially if San Fran somehow wins the division this year. But, yeah, give me San Fran.
I think that's a really good point that you made there because, like, in the years that, you know, they made it to the Super Bowl and, like, he had arguably one of the best teams in the NFL, never was, like,
Never.
He was in the conversations, but he was never really truly a true candidate. And then in a year like this one where you have three teams who are already, 11 wins in the NFC West, and you still somehow come out on top to win the division, that'll be absolutely insane. I'm going to go with the San Francisco 49ers. I do think they're the better team. Rivers is a psychopath, though. He was telling his wife, he was like, man, like, sometimes I just wish I could just throw the ball and get hit. Like whenever he was, like, dealing with, like, stuff at home, and then she was like, you're a psychopath.
Yeah.
He definitely got hit a lot in that Seattle game. I'm expecting him to get hit a lot in the San Fran game.
I need him, though.
Yeah, you need him?
I mean, honestly, bro, it makes the Bears' odds go up if they lose this game just to make the playoffs in general. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's something big time to consider, which we can speak on real quick. Is just like the whole playoff picture and everything, how it's gonna unfold. I'll give you guys a floor for an extended conversation about your guys' matchup itself, because that has a lot of implications on the NFC North. Because right now you guys are the two top teams in the NFC North. So who wants to go first?
Yeah, I mean, Packers playoff implications are, I mean, obviously win out, you win the division. Probably the same thing for the Bears. But they could clinch a playoff spot with a win over the Bears and a Steelers win over the Lions. So they basically just need one more Lions loss and one more Packers win to clinch a playoff spot in general. So that's, whatever. But for the division, you probably just got to win out. This game will be huge. I mean, whoever wins this game is probably going to have to try to... You got to win out, really. I mean, we both have tough schedules remaining, so it's just if you wanted to win the division this game, you got to win this game and you got to win your remaining two. Match them.
Yeah, bro.
Like if you guys lose, then we win, and it's like okay. Then
it kind of sucks that you're not full strength because I felt like we did have a really good battle the last time when you were pretty much full of health. I mean, we weren't, but you guys for the most part were, and. Like, it kind of sucks, but, like, we have to beat you. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like, we have to beat you guys. We have to get that monkey off the back. Green Bay is always going to beat us and always going to be better. Like, we have to beat you, and we have to put us in the driver's seat to win this division. And if we do, that would be sick. First year with Ben Johnson, a potential coach of the year for him, too. They love to give it to new coaches in new places. I mean, that's happened pretty often. So, yeah, I'm excited for this week. Hopefully it goes well. Unfamiliar grounds kind of for Bears fans because normally this game doesn't really mean that much this late in the season. And sometimes we don't even get to see starters play. So This is exciting. It's fun. Just hope I don't get my heart broken. So
yeah, we have like 9 people did not practice as of today. Like, key people like Josh Jacobs did not practice, Christian Watson, Matthew Golden, Jaden Reed, like everybody, Evan Williams, like Zach Tom, everyone did not participate. So we're going to be so fucking depleted in this game. I already know, and it's like, it's just another thing where like I feel like as a Bears fan, you're probably like, damn, like I wish, like you said, I wish they were at full strength. And it's like we finally had the chance to like give him the knockout blow, and it's like, okay, you're really gonna hit a guy with glasses, you know what I mean?
Well, no, I still want to kick your ass.
Well, no, I get it, but like at the end of the day, it's like, dude, we're so fucked, like depleted, like.
I just looked at our depth chart like during the show, honestly, and it looks like we're just getting healthier, especially on defense, which like.
It's a complete reverse of the last 2 weeks ago.
I don't think it's going to happen, but, like, sometimes getting guys back late in the year kind of throws off your mojo. But, like, if we're playing this good with, like, we have practice squad linebackers that have been playing, like, for 5 weeks, bro. And they're playing well. So, like, if we get some of our other guys, like, we got a captain coming back. Hopefully some of our DBs get healthy. Luther Burden kind of got banged up last week, so that's a little concerning. But we got a lot of wide receivers, although – we want him on the field.
Yeah.
He showed off some moves last week that kind of got Bears fans a little excited for the future. So future's bright.
I will say, though, for the outlook, it's a little bit less in Chicago's favor. You guys have San Fran and Detroit after this one. So, this is a
Minnesota.
Yeah, I think things are a little more favorable for the Packers, but then they're also regressing with the injuries like Joey was alluding to. So it's, kind of balances out there, and let's see how it goes for either team.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's anyone's division here. I don't think Detroit's necessarily 100% out of it yet, but they would need a miracle. They would need the Bears to lose out, and they would need pretty much the Packers to lose out as well. Yeah.
We have a tiebreaker.
Well, if we beat you, that would put us at 2 wins above you.
Yeah, but then if you lose 2 more and we win 2 more, what the fuck does that do?
With the tie, I don't know. And our division record's not very good either.
Yeah.
I mean,
it probably goes down
week,
to like division who wins more.
But even so, we'd be 2-3 into the Lions game.
We would only have one divisional loss if we lose this game and win out the rest of the games, considering we beat the Vikings.
I mean, I don't know. At this rate, I just want to win this game and kind of just keep it pushing to the next week.
I agree. You got to take it week by week.
Yeah,
bro.
keep moving it. Yeah, so.
Facts. I don't necessarily want to make you guys all look ahead here, but I do think this matchup has huge implications on the division and, the NFC playoff picture as a whole because one of these teams are going to be a top at least 3 seed. Because the Eagles beat the Packers, right? So you lose a tiebreaker on that one. So things get a little dicey there. Let's see how this thing all shakes out. But I'm really excited to see how the rest of this postseason run ends up for all these teams. But that pretty much wraps up Week 16 of NFL Game Picks. We got 2 more to go after this, so stay tuned. Catch you guys next week. Peace.